What's up, guys? Welcome to the CG Patriot podcast, Awake with Reason. Going live for a minute here. I hope you guys are having a great weekend thus far. I know I promised episode on the statistics for this guy, but I wanted to go quickly into, it's interesting because I was listening to a podcast today, podcast video, whatever you want to call it, the Patriots Street Fighter. And the guy that was on there, two of the guys that were on there were talking about how people, you're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. Okay. And this is coming off I generally am not a person who really cares about comments, but I got a comment here today and I do want feedback. Hands down, feedback is super important, but constructive feedback. Okay. So there's this person, and I'm just going to call him out, Lynn Wick, who commented on Sarah Jacera. And she says, piece of advice. If you're going to try to be good at podcast, don't use other people's information. Get your own by researching contacts. Dr. Charlie Ward doesn't have answers because of an NDA. So you need to dig into what your passion is. Now, when does this come completely live? Well, Lynn Wick, it comes live right now. Patriot Street Fighter says he's a nice guy generally, and he rips into people that just place insane comments. And I don't think this is super insane. And don't get me wrong, but I've watched a few videos today where it reconfirmed that you're either with us or you're against us. And again, constructive criticism, a good conversation is always great. So I replied back, and I think you guys will like this. And I thought I was pretty straightforward. And again, if you want to see this comment, you can go to Awake with Reason, episode 6. I said, appreciate the feedback, Lynn. All feedback is welcome. Just out of curiosity, though, could you point me to your podcast or channel so I can see how it's done? It seems like you may have firsthand insight I could learn from. I mean, honestly, if you're going to make a comment like that, when somebody's trying to get out information, you got to back it up. I played sports my whole life, and generally these are the people that sit on the sidelines and yell at players for, making a bad play, but they're not sitting there doing the 40 hours a week in the gym and running suicides. They're sitting on the sidelines, and that kind of stuff just doesn't sit well with me. And I don't want to be negative. I just wanted to say hello to our new friend, Lynn Wick, and let her know that the podcast is live now. And now you don't have to wait for it. All right. So hope you guys are having a great weekend. I don't know if anybody's on this live chat. Looks like we might have 4. This is the first time I've been live. So I just wanted to bring that up. I'm still doing some research today, and I ran into that comment. And I just wanted to point it out. Again, comments are great, and I love comments. And I think that feedback is important. But if you don't have anything to say that's constructive, and if you're not part of this movement, you know what? Move on. Move on. We don't need that right now. This is really this is one of the parts of this is the part of the movement. This is the time where, the rubber hits the road, and we don't have time for people who are just going to leave comments that are just ridiculous, especially on a comment about Sarah Jacera. And it says freedom on the horizon. She says other people's information. Don't use other people's information. Well, I got something for you. Other people's information is information that comes directly from the source, from God. So there is no other people's information. It always comes from God himself, and it passes through us. And all we need to do is spread that information, particularly if it's information that we believe is relevant, through whatever channels and whatever opportunities we have, right? So when somebody says that to me, that's my answer back, is that we are here to spread information that we believe might be relevant to a positive outcome in this movement. And if all you're doing is throwing out comments about how good or bad that is, and not actually, putting a comment like, well, I've heard something differently. Totally. I mean, I think that bring it up. You know what? I'll have you on the show. So those are the kind of things that I hope, you guys don't get the wrong impression of my channel is, I'm not just a person that sits back and, does research or apparently not, just takes other people's information and then publishes it. I'm at the front lines of this fight, and I know you guys are as well if you're tuning into this, and if you're on Twitter and in whatever method you're doing it. And I was talking to my wife today, and we were talking about how, where I'm at now. This is kind of like my hub. This is my war room, and it allows me to operate and get information so I can spread that information to you guys so you can disseminate it. So there's other folks that go to town hall and organize it that way. There's other folks that are, killing it and doing a great job on Twitter, just getting information out. There's warriors there. And then there's folks that, go ahead and throw up a podcast. There's other folks that, just talk to the people at their church online. Every part of us that's in this movement is necessary, but the part of us that's not necessary are the people that are on the wrong side of history here. And again, I just don't want to call somebody out, but I had to say it. And it was one of those days I was watching Rodriguez's channel, and I saw he just had it. He's at the edge of it too, David Rodriguez. And what do you say? He's going nuclear. And I'm not going nuclear, right? I mean, what's nuclear going to do? I'm just trying to talk to you guys directly as much as possible and share information with you. If that information happens to start with somebody else, you know what? That information started from God. So I'm going to get back to doing the research I was going to do. I appreciate you guys here. I think there's only 2. I don't have a huge following right now. So, and I hate to call it followers. But I appreciate all the support, guys. I really do. And I just wanted to go live and show you that it can be done. I prefer to have, information that I can compile and create a story for you guys. But if you want me to go live more often, I'm absolutely on board. It looks like On Point said absolutely about a comment I made earlier. And it might be the comment about, the information is information that comes directly from God. And I think that's when I did see it. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support On Point. So, all right, guys, you have a great day. I don't know how long I'll keep this live one up. I just kind of wanted to, go on a rant for a minute. I see a lot of folks, on Twitter really putting in a lot of time to try to get a message out. And, there's a lot of shills that are on there as well. And you know what? Those shills are going to wake up one day and maybe they don't. But if they do, they're going to have to, talk to God and justify why they weren't, on the positive side of this movement. And I'm not, I just recently was awakened, but the fact is that even prior to, I never cut on people's stuff. If I didn't have anything to say, I just don't say it. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you coming on to this episode. It was not even an episode; it's just a live thing. And I'm going to go ahead and get some information ready for you guys. There was one more thing that I wanted to say. There actually was a speaking of Charlie Ward, there's an Insiders Club video that I watched today because I'm part of that Insiders Club. It looks very positive. So I don't want to share the Insiders Club information. I don't know how that works with that. But all I know is that if and this is very much so on the topic of NESARA GESARA, it's very good information. It looks like we're in a positive direction. I also watched that video yesterday that was on the Reveal Report. And coincidentally, on the Reveal Report, and I'll put that link in the description below, the second time Jessie, that lady that was on the Reveal Report, she mentioned about, I think, a quarter of the way through that this weekend she had something, she's basically petitioning in the court of heaven, petitioning against Satan, against Lucifer. And apparently the petition you know, it sounds out there, but you know what? If you either believe in the Bible or you don't, you either believe in God or you don't. So to me, it's not out there anymore. And it looks like we won. It looks like, or she did. She did it for us, and it's props to her. I mean, that's so far from anything I understand for sure. So, but if you do watch that video. I'm going to put it in the link below. It's the reveal report. You can type it into YouTube, and it's the first one that will pop up. So check that out. She said something about this weekend about us having the shackles free, and then I heard the other information from Charlie Ward. So, all right, guys, you have a great weekend. You have a good Saturday. I'll talk to you guys soon with a new video. All right, bye. Now, stay frosty. There you go.